In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a stop loss as well as a take profit for your short positions on the Yubit futures market. If you'd like to create an account on Yubit, I left you a link in the description of this video as well as in the pinned comment down below. If you create an account using that link, you'll be eligible for up to 10,000 Tether in welcome rewards, and you'll be saving 10% on all your trading fees for the lifetime of your account. You'll also be supporting my channel at no extra cost to you. This video is not financial advice and is for educational purposes only. Let's get into the video. All right, we'll start out here on the futures market user interface. So if you're not already in here, you can get here by coming up here where it says futures and click here where it says USDTM perpetual. I'm currently set to Bitcoin versus Tether on the daily time frame, and I'll be demonstrating with that. So before I set up a take profit as well as a stop loss for my short position, I'll obviously have to open that position to begin with. So I'm going to come up here to the order panel and I'll just go ahead and mark it into a small Bitcoin short position. I'll just do 100 USDT, and I'm going to come down here and click on open short and confirm. Now I'm in position. Now to set a take profit and stop loss for my short position, I'm going to come down here to my open position. If you don't see yours, just make sure you click here on the positions tab. Then right over here, you'll see two options. You'll see a partial TPSL. That's for closing a portion of your trade or setting up multiple take profits and stop losses. And I'm going to make a separate tutorial for that, which you'll find in the description down below. In this tutorial, I'm focusing on a basic entire TPSL. So we're going to click this little plus sign underneath entire TPSL. Now we're getting a pop-up window where we can set our take profit in this box here and our stop loss in this box here. So for this demonstration, I can see Bitcoin is currently trading at about 64,000. And to keep this demonstration nice and simple, let's just imagine that I'm targeting 60,000 for my take profit. So I'm going to come down here to TP trigger price and I'll type that in, 60,000, just like this. Now down here, Yubit is estimating approximately how much profit I would receive if this trade goes favorably and the price of Bitcoin falls to 60,000. So then let's go ahead and set the stop loss. And just for the sake of demonstration, let's imagine that I want to set a stop loss just above 65,000. I'll just go ahead and type in 65,100. Of course, choose price points that make the most sense for you. I'm just simply demonstrating how the tool works. Now down below, Yubit is estimating approximately how much I would lose if this trade goes against me and hits my stop loss. Looks good for this demonstration, so I'm going to go ahead and click here on confirm. And just like that, I set a take profit as well as a stop loss. And we can see them on the chart itself. You can see in the green box up above is the stop loss, and in the green box down below is the take profit. And you can see little dotted lines that go along with those as well. So in this situation here, if Bitcoin continues to fall to the downside and hits this green dotted line at 60,000, Yubit will automatically close this trade in a profit for me. If Bitcoin is to find some support here and bounce to the upside, hitting this green dotted line at 65,100, Yubit will be closing this trade in a small loss. Now we can easily amend these by simply grabbing onto the box and dragging it wherever we want. So let's imagine that I want to move my stop loss. Maybe I want to move it up somewhere above this little pivot right here. Maybe that makes more sense for my trade idea. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hold down left click on this green box. And now you can see that I can drag this around. So let's imagine I want to drag it up just something like this maybe. Now you can see when I let go of left click, I just amended that to 69,004. And let's imagine that I want to move my take profit down just slightly more. Again, hold left click, we can drag it. Let's say we want to take it right to the tip of that wick, let go of left click. And you can see I just amended that take profit to 59,567. So as you can see, you can easily amend these once they're on the chart itself. Now, if we want to see more details about those, we can come down here, click where it says open orders, click here on TPSL, and here's where you'll be able to see your take profit and stop loss. Now, there's a couple ways to cancel these. You can come over here underneath batch cancel. You'll see there's a cancel order button. If you click on that, it's going to immediately cancel your take profit or your stop loss, whichever one you're canceling. Or we can come up here to the chart and just click on these X's inside these boxes, just like this. Confirm. Stop loss removed. We'll click here on the take profit, this little X. confirm, take profit removed. As simple as that. Now, before I let you go, I'll quickly show you how you can set your take profit and stop loss while you're opening the position itself. Now, here's how you can set your take profit and stop loss while you're opening your position. So we're going to come back up here to the order panel, and I'll go ahead and do another short position betting on the price to go down, and I'll just do a value of 100 tether. Now, before opening this position, I'm going to come down here and check this little box where it says TPSL. Now you can see we have a box here to set our take profit and a stop loss box right here to set our stop loss. So let's quickly head over here to the chart. I'm just going to zoom this out a little bit. I am on a daily here. And let's imagine that I want to target somewhere down around this area of price action right here. What I'll do is I'll grab a horizontal from my drawing tools. I can see mine right here, but if you don't see yours, just click this little triangle here. You'll get a drop down menu. You can grab a horizontal line right here. Just a basic drawing tool to mark an area to take our profit. So now we're going to come over here to this price structure, and I'll go ahead and just put on the horizontal like this. And now I can see that horizontal lines up with a couple touch points. You can see that it was found a support here. Price did wick a little bit below it here, but you can see it found support here. And if we look a little further back, we can see that it was very briefly resistance here before that area was broken. And then once price got up above it, it stayed above it for a very long time, and it looks like Bitcoin wants to come down and try to test it again. So maybe I'm thinking to myself that price point makes sense to try to take profit on a short position. So now that I've put my horizontal on the chart, I can see a price point that correlates to it coming in at 53,943, and I can see that on the y-axis of the chart. So let's come over here to the take profit box and we'll type that in. We'll go 53,943. Right here, Yubit is estimating what my expected profit would be if this trade goes favorably and Bitcoin comes down and hits 53,943. So let's go ahead and do the stop loss. We'll come back over here to the chart, and I'm just going to go ahead and zoom back in for a second here. And let's imagine that I want to set my stop loss just above this price action right here, just in case Bitcoin finds a bit of support and breaks up above there. Maybe I'm thinking to myself, if that was to happen, and Bitcoin was to break up above this area here, maybe that means I'm going to be wrong and Bitcoin's just going to continue to the upside. So perhaps I want to set a stop loss just so I don't get wrecked in case that happens. So I'm going to come back over here to the drawing tools. I'll grab a horizontal and I'll mark a spot just above those wicks, something like this. Now I can see a price point on the y-axis of the chart coming in at 73,131. So I'll come down here to the stop loss box. I'll type that in. 73,131. Now, Yubit is estimating how much I'm going to lose if this trade goes against me. Good enough for this demonstration, so I'll go ahead and open my short position by clicking here on Open Short. Now we're getting our order confirmation pop-up window, and this time you can see that a take profit is going to be added, as well as a stop loss the moment I open this position. So confirm the details are what you intended, and if they are, just come down here, click on Confirm. And just like that, I opened that position and my take profit and stop loss was added immediately. If I delete my horizontal lines just like this, you can now see my take profit and stop loss on the chart. The stop loss is in this green box up above, and the take profit is in this green box down below. And of course, we can see these green dotted lines that are marking this out. So if this short position works out for me and Bitcoin falls down, hits 53,943, Yubit will automatically close this trade in a profit for me. If this trade goes against me and Bitcoin pops back up and breaks through this dotted green line, Yubit will automatically be closing this trade in a loss at 73,131. Again, if we want to cancel those, we can just come over here and check this X inside this little box. So let's go ahead and do the stop loss, confirm, stop loss removed. And if for whatever reason you don't see your take profit or stop loss on the chart, you just come down here, click on Open Orders, click here on TPSL, and over here on the right hand side, you can click on Cancel Order. And just like that, I got rid of the take profit. So at the end of the day, that's how you can set a take profit and a stop loss. Of course, choose price points that make the most sense for your trade idea. And there you have it. That's how you can set up a take profit as well as a stop loss on your short positions. If you got some value out of that, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe for future content. Also feel free to check out my other Yubit tutorials, which I've put together in a playlist on my YouTube channel. Have yourself a powerful day.